Welcome to Side Roads. I'm Carlos, and this is a 2024 Nissan Sentra, but this time with a CVT. The car for this video has been kindly provided by the team at Covered Nissan. The 2024 Nissan Sentra comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 149 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. That is paired to a CVT, a continuously variable transmission, which, by the way, is doing a great job, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. The Sentra comes with front-wheel drive only. So sitting in that compact sedan class, the Sentra competes with cars very established and very famous, which, by the way, the Sentra has been around for a long time, so it's a well-known nameplate too. It competes with cars like the Toyota Corolla, the Honda Civic, the Hyundai Elantra, and the Mazda 3, amongst others. Cars like the Kia K4, which is brand new, and the Volkswagen Jetta, just to mention a few. I think there may be a few more there. Safety features for the Nissan Sentra are things like intelligent forward collision warning system, intelligent emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, rear intelligent emergency braking, intelligent trace control, hill start assist, and intelligent driver alertness. The fuel economy for the Nissan Sentra is 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers city and 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers highway. Price for the Sentra starts in Canada around 25,000 Canadian dollars. The top trim goes up to around 33,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, the base trim comes around 21,000 US dollars, and the top trim goes around 24,000 US dollars. So, as I mentioned before, and as you can see, those are pretty competitive prices. Yes, the market itself, for this segment itself, they compare one with the other in terms of price and everything, but this one is very well equipped, and as I said before, especially in the top trim, it is a very good value proposition. The 2024 Nissan Sentra interior. Well, as I probably already mentioned, I already reviewed a Nissan Sentra just with the manual transmission, so you can watch that video as well. And the story of the interior is obviously the same, which is a good story. So the materials here are all soft and nice. There's a combination of some hard plastics here and there, but none in a place that will offend you or make the cabin feel cheap or anything. The materials on the doors are nice. The support points are soft and padded. Really nice here. The seats are super comfortable, and that's a characteristic typical of Nissans, which is really good and not that common in the car market in general. So the steering wheel is wrapped in leather and is heated on this one that is the SR model, which is a top model for Nissan. The seats are leather too, or leatherette, I think, and has a contrast stitching in an orange color or something. I think you can see it here, and have this extra detail here in the seats are really nice looking, and as I said, really comfortable, have a little bit of fabric, so they're really well designed. I really like the look of these seats. The air conditioning have all hard buttons to control all the functions, and that's really good. And it's dual temperature here, so the passenger and the driver can have their own temperature, and the seats are heated as well on this model. I also like the design here of the vents that are like turbines, and you can move them around, and there are 3, and they are really satisfying to use too. And this is pretty unique, I would say, in terms of designs, at least in this segment for the car, so it makes the cabin a little bit extra special. There is a 7 inches, so the gauge cluster have 2 analog main gauges for the speed and the tachometer, which I love. Is my preferred layout, and they are big and easy to see, and they are lit, so it's nice. But has a center 7 inches display that have all this information from the car. You can configure, you can change what you want to see, and all the messages and the info from the car comes through that screen. It's really handy, and has, for example, speed signs recognition and display here, which is not common in this class. So really good, really well designed, easy to use, easy to see. I really like it. And then there is an 8 inches for the color touchscreen display here for the entertainment system. There are smaller one in the lower versions for the Sentra, but this is good. It's easy to use, responds pretty well. The icons are big and easy to read and easy to find, and you can configure the screen too to split the information that you want to see. Really good. Comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. So it has this little cubby here, 2 cup holders, an extra cubby here. The center console is huge, and the glove box is a decent size, I would say. Has a regular shifter, which I absolutely love. Those are going away too, so I like that. Pretty good. And a start-stop button here in the center console. The windows are of course power, but the driver window is 1 touch up and down, which I really like and appreciate. There is a regular size sunroof here. Really nice cabin, really nice design. It looks sporty and a little bit different. There is nothing that you will not like out of this cabin, and it looks better than some other cabins in this class, at least in my humble opinion. I fit behind myself on the back seats, and there is a space to spare there for my legs. My head has enough space. There is a center armrest, and the trunk is huge, super useful. So not everybody needs an SUV. These have all the practicality, or plenty of practicality for many people and many families, for example. So if you don't really need an SUV, you want an excellent car and that has enough space and handles great, and you know, it's good on gas and good on power, I think the Sentra is an excellent option. So how is to drive the Nissan Sentra? Well, let me start with, I just reviewed a Sentra but with a manual transmission. For obvious reasons, there are not that many manuals in this segment anymore and in general. So I wanted to drive that one, and I was of course super happy just for the fact that it's manual, but the car is pretty responsive. I really like the whole experience, and of course I really appreciate the fact that Nissan is still offering a manual in more than one trim also, so pretty good. But the segment in general is all automatic, so I figured let's do a review on the automatic vehicle, because it will be more fair for the Sentra to compare with the others and to talk about what you really will find mostly in this segment, which are all either automatic or with a CVT. So I'm doing that. And of course, it is really good in here. So the suspension is a little bit on the firm side, but that's pretty much the case across the board. But it does a good job isolating the bumps and the imperfections from the road. So that's good. The cabin remains fairly quiet. I'm sure there are other options that may be a little bit more quiet, but there are also options that will be equal to this or worse than this. So it's pretty good. I like it. I think it's sufficient, it's reasonable, and nobody will be let's say disappointed or mad about the noise level in this cabin. So that's good. The steering weight I really like is in the middle. It's not too soft, it's not too heavy, but it's pretty responsive and pretty direct, and I do like that. The other thing that I really like is that the car takes corners very well. Of course, and I said this before in my other Sentra video, there is a driving characteristic coming from sedans, which are cars that are lower to the ground, so they are more stable and they feel more planted, and it's just different. I know the market is taken by SUVs because of us the consumers that keep going for SUVs for practicality and some other stuff, but this, for example, is very good in a space in the cabin, it's very good in the space on the trunk. So this is as practical depending on your lifestyle and what you are really looking for. But in the driving dynamics, no one can beat a sedan, just because of what I just said, the lower to the ground and the tall or less tall characteristic of a sedan. So it's pretty good there, and I like it. Reminds me, I grew up with sedans, of course. SUVs were not that popular back then and were expensive, but it was a different market. So I like this. I feel at home. Reminds me of fun to drive cars and why I fell in love with driving. So I appreciate a sedan. Maybe my next car will be a sedan, because more and more I realize this is the way to go for driving enjoyment and a little bit more of a safety driving too, at least in my opinion. That can be controversial, but yes, it's my opinion. So the big difference now between this and the other Sentra that I just reviewed, as I was saying, is the transmission. Here we have a CVT, a continuously variable transmission, and I'm not necessarily a fan of CVTs, but they have been getting better and better with the years. Nissan has been working with CVTs for a long time, and I believe they nailed this. They know what they are doing, they know how to calibrate it. This one fakes shift, so the average person will not know that they are driving on a CVT or what a CVT is or care about. You don't feel that, you feel that you are driving a normal car, and I do appreciate that. The other thing is, this one, it is very well paired with this engine and the gas pedal and the calibration on the gas too, because it takes off immediately, have no drama, there is no feeling of lack of power here or delays or lags or anything. It's just normal, very normal, and it does makes the car feel responsive and that you want to push it and you want to drive it with no issue, especially from the stops. CVTs have this characteristic when you floor it, and especially when you are passing, that they may get a little bit noisy and the car will react differently, but with the fake shifting makes the behavior a little bit different and a little bit more like what we are all used to from regular automatics. So it's very, very good. I like it, and it takes the cars off and it builds on the speed in a normal and very satisfying way. So it uses the CVT characteristic but doesn't give you the CVT typical driving experience. So very, very well done from Nissan. I really like it. The visibility is great, the windows are big, I have no issues, it's pretty spacious and airy, and I like this cabin and the design of this car too. It looks really good on the outside. It's really dynamic lines. I really like it. The seats are super comfortable, and that's because Nissan have this zero gravity technology on their seats, and I have driven a few Nissans too. Check those videos in the channel. Very, very comfortable. It's the same case here that is in any other Nissan that I have driven. The brakes feels pretty responsive too and adequate to the car and the size of the car and the power of the car, so it's all good there as well. So overall, I like it. I think no one will be, no, let me rephrase that. I think anybody that decides to go for a Nissan Sentra will be happy. This is very competitive, and you will find what you find here. You will find in what you can find in any other car. You will find here, which is really good. I really like this product. This may be an underdog, but it shouldn't be, because it has a lot to offer. The value proposition, as I said before, is excellent, and it's very well equipped, very well designed. The interior is super nice, and the driving, I just downshift twice with a CVT. That changed everything, especially with a CVT, and then you get a better fuel economy, and it's really good, really great car. I really like this. The Nissan Sentra has nothing to worry about the competition. In fact, its value proposition should make the others a little bit nervous.